What's up, everybody? This is the PlayStation Lifestyle Underground Podcast. We are an unofficial podcast of PlayStationLifestyle.net forums. I am Hugo Siglitz. You can find me on PSN as Hugo Siglitz _420 and Xbox Live as THNK4URSELF. And you want to say what's up, Jordy?
Sure, I'm Jordash. You can find me on the comments and forums as Jordash7K, and that is also my name on PSN and other internet games.
And I am Brian Mashala. You can find me on the comments and forums as Brian Mashala and elsewhere on the internet playing games as Cloudstripe768.
Playing games? Who does
Video
that?
games.
So
Yahtzee mostly, some Monopoly,
Big
shoots
I
and
do
ladders.
I do have the Yahtzee app on my
risky.
phone. Yahtzee's a great game.
I have this thing called dice that I put in a cup and put them on a table.
oh,
The cup is
play Yahtzee.
obnoxious.
Three-man.
The cup is too loud. Just use your hand.
3-man. That's a really good drinking game with dice. But yeah. So big shocker this week, but I've been playing Gran Turismo Sport. They've actually been doing a test tournament, like they've been planning to do on like these FIA tournaments, and like people who win can even get like a real license, whatever. Whatever, that's not the point. Like, the main point is just like they've been doing tournament races every night, and I've been having a blast doing those. And you can only enter one per night for each of the championships, and then your best 3 results out of the 7 get counted. And I'm doing pretty good. I'm number 4 with the Ferraris because there's a manufacturer cup which divides it into each manufacturer that you pick. I'm in 4th place, and then
Cool.
the worst I am is like I think I'm still in the top 230 in the world in all 4 divisions. So yeah, it's been fun. It's also been a little crazy, but it's typical for online games. But I don't know. Hopefully it gets better as we go along. But yeah, no, it's been fun. I'm definitely gonna keep doing it because it's just like a nightly thing, and it's like the sport mode but better. So I like it a lot. Also, obviously been playing Horizon Zero Dawn, the Frozen Wilds. It is very fun, much like the main game. Very addictive, and yeah, it's great. It's really good, as you would expect from Horizon, but it definitely does not disappoint. I also finished up The Evil Within 2, which was very good. Really liked the game and the ending. I do kind of prefer the first one just for a couple reasons, mainly just because it's linear and has more action, but 2 is no slouch by any means, and I'm definitely satisfied with it.
And it was interesting. And this, even though you don't, even if you have problems with the history of World War II, or like you said, they've told less cohesive stories in the past.
Yeah.
This is a very This was easily on par with Infinite Warfare's campaign, which people
Cool.
shit on the game, but the Infinite Warfare campaign was very, very
It's
good.
good, yeah.
I didn't personally relate to the main character you play as much as I did with Reyes. Even though he was good,
really? Because I didn't relate to Reyes too much. Like,
Well-
I mean, I did, but like he wasn't like a standout character for me. None of them really were. It was just like a good campaign. Like, it was just fun.
for me, it was basically I don't remember anyone except for the robot, Reyes and Salt. And Reyes and Salt
Yeah.
had great chemistry together.
Yeah.
They were easily the 2 most memorable characters.
Playing the robot was funny.
Yeah. But as you know, as far as humans and stuff like that, Salt and Reyes, the robot was great, and that's honestly all I remember of the characters. And Jon Snow being the villain that you barely ever saw. But
And Conor McGregor. He punches
Who I
you in the
barely-
face at the beginning.
yeah, I don't even remember that. But World War II's story, it takes a little while for you to get familiar and care about the characters, but by the end of the campaign, I definitely cared about the characters, and it was fun. It was good, and I have a bit of a man boner for Josh Duhamel, anyways. So even though I don't like his character, I don't like his character at all in the game, but he did a good job.
Yeah, I seen him in like a TV show. I thought he was cool, a good actor and stuff, but I almost
Wasn't
forgot
he
he
in the
was in the
Transformers
game.
movies?
Yeah, he was like kind of that military guy, kind of side character.
But he was always kind of like happy-go-lucky and fun, but serious. But had that like tinge of fun to him. And I know him best from this show called Las Vegas, which was kind of terrible. But
that's what I know him from too. Yeah,
it was a terrible show, but it was my
it was
guilty pleasure.
entertaining.
I loved watching it.
Yeah,
it was like a soap opera to me, but he was always really
at
great.
times, yeah. But also other times it was just like a comedy and like crime fighting. Although they're just security guards, they were constantly fighting crime like they were cops or something. It was pretty funny, but it was just fun. I mean, Vegas is a cool place, but I mean, Advanced Warfare I thought was an awesome campaign. So I'm definitely gonna play World War II. It's just like, as far as buying it, I'm probably not gonna do that just because I don't know. Maybe I'll change my mind, but at the moment, I always hate censorship in general, and I don't know how bad it is, but I just don't like the fact that they caved to it. And so did Treyarch, though, like with the whole zombies thing, and that was where it was even more unnecessary because it's like maps that already had the things in it, and to remove them from the maps worldwide just because of one country, it's just silly to me. But whatever, that's Activision. I mean, I'm sure it's Activision's fault. Like, I don't blame Sledgehammer and stuff, but still.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a good campaign, and I really enjoyed it. So if Infinite Warfare was good. I never played.
I'm actually probably going to rent Battlefield. Oh, you didn't play Advanced Warfare? It's a good campaign. It'd be worth the rent. I'm probably going to play Battlefront 2's campaign rental also. I might buy that one down the line, but like then I'm going to go right to World War II because actually the day I bought or picked up my Final Fantasy 15 copy, thank you by the way, Jordy, for letting me know. They already had World War II on the Redbox, so it is definitely on my list. It's just I just got inundated with a bunch of games like Horizon Zero Dawn and stuff, so it's like maybe a week or two I'll be hitting that up.
Well, the campaign is really not really short, but fairly short. I rented it on Monday, and playing exclusively at night, I beat it last night.
Oh, nice.
Exclusively from 9 till 11 or 12. And threw in a couple of multiplayer matches here and there.
Sweet.
No zombies. I don't like horde zombie mode. Multiplayer is okay, though.
I only like Extinction, which is funny because COD Ghosts is like to me the worst COD. Yet I actually really like Extinction. It's the one exception. But yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Do you have more games that you were playing?
No, that was actually it.
Nice.
Did I mention Mario Odyssey?
Once or twice.
Yeah, you did. I still gotta check out some more gameplay of that, and play more Zelda too. I'll try to on that damn PC. But yeah, we have a couple news stories this week. For one, unfortunately, EA has purchased Respawn Studios, who made the excellent Titanfall 2 single-player campaign. Also, there's some of the guys behind Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, and it's much less good sequel, Modern Warfare 2, in my opinion. But no, they know how to make a great campaign, which is really my biggest issue with EA buying them, because EA seems to not like campaigns anymore, or just single-player games. I mean, although Battlefront 2 has one, I'm sure it's like 4 hours, and the idea of Respawn being able to do another kick-ass campaign like they did with Titanfall 2, I could see it going away. I mean, unless Respawn really insists and they give them the creative freedom, but I could see it not going that way. Also, wasn't Titanfall 2 not a huge success?
Yeah, not really, unfortunately.
Yeah, it sucks.
I mean, we talked about it a bunch last year when it was happening, because it was Battlefield 1, then Titanfall 2 the week after, and then Call of Duty the week after that. So it was they sent it out to die. I mean, who needs 3 shooters in 3 weeks? And 2
Yeah.
of them being the pillars of the first-person shooter genre currently. So they fucked Titanfall over so bad, and
For
it's
sure.
unfortunate because we at the time we didn't play Titanfall. I played it a couple months down the line, and then you played it a
Later, yeah.
couple months after that too. And after I played it, it was really a really fun campaign, and it had a lot of great mechanics and things that they did, and the story was pretty good, and
Yeah,
just
no, it was
all
awesome.
around really enjoyable. And I could care less about the multiplayer, but the
Yeah,
campaign
like
was just really great.
I also don't like the multiplayer at all, but the single player was good enough to stand on its own, really. Like
Absolutely.
it's one of the best single player shooter campaigns in years. I mean, it's up there with Doom and Wolfenstein in my opinion. And Metro and stuff. But yeah, so it's like I hope they're able to keep doing it, but yeah, no, I mean, like knowing how EA handles like low sales even when it's their own fault, it's a bad sign.
We've said it a million times. Oh, I've sure as fuck said it a million times, but EA is like a graveyard for studios. That's where they go to die.
Yep.
Yeah, that sucks. Also, in other news stories relating to EA, they suggested or they are discussing the idea of turning the sports games into a kind of subscription service. Is that what it was?
Yeah, something like that. Making it so I guess you just buy like base game Madden, and then they would do games as a service it, and make it be like, oh, then yeah, I guess if you wanted to pay for, they did nothing specific whatsoever, but I guess you could subscribe then to it for like a month or 3 months or something like that. But it would always have like the yearly, updates to the game itself and the roster updates, which depending on the pricing, it doesn't sound like the worst thing in the world to me.
Yeah,
you guys
unless
don't
they
play too
charge
much
$60
sports
a year, then it would be so pointless.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because I mean, as long as it was less than that, because I mean, I only buy a Madden like once every I try to do it every 3 years. My friend is pushing me to buy 18 because he got 18, but
yeah,
I might wait till the end of the season when it's $20 and then I'll play with it. But
It's got the goat on it, bro.
it's got the
this year it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goat, bro.
Go, bro.
No, bruh. Yeah, like, because, I mean, that is one thing that's always been so egregious about sports games is every year they're pretty much only roster updates. Every once in a while they may actually add in some legitimate changes, but usually it's just roster updates. So the idea of paying $60 for that is crazy to me. Although I would say it's even worse in Formula One's case because there's only like 5-6 roster changes each year, and that's it. Like, which is why it's so important for them to do the classic F1 cars, but they've only done that twice out of 7 years they've been doing it. So that's why I don't buy most of the F1 games. I just get them, like you said, with Madden every couple of years, and it's it's good that way. Like as long as you get the right ones.
Yeah, but usually the games as a service makes us go back and go, ooh. But for the sports games, it's just to get your like roster updates and not paying as much as a full game. That doesn't sound like the worst thing to me.
If you're not paying as much as a full game, because I just have a sneaking suspicion that they'll somehow make it that way, or just the subscription price won't be good.
$10 a month. Like I would only play it for like a couple of months. That's less than $60 right there. Boom, I'm in. I mean, and if someone wanted to, they could subscribe for 12 months of the year.
But the people who play it all year, that's like they're paying way more. So,
well, yeah, if someone is like obsessed with Madden and wants to play for 12 months straight, I mean, go for it. But I don't think most people play Madden for the full year. I don't think that happens.
Well, it's like even. Sorry, go ahead.
At that point, you're essentially. I mean, if it becomes a yearly. To me, it almost sounds like an MMO where you buy the game, you buy the base game, and well, the definition of MMO and how you pay for it is changing a little bit, but you can pay monthly or you can pay like a $10 a month. It's probably way too high. It'd probably be closer to $5 a month, or you can pay like a flat $40 per year to get the yearly update for it, and whatever small engine changes or changes there are to the game. Probably seems more feasible to do it. And realistically, it should also apply to first-person shooters like Call of Duty per generation. It won't, because with in Call of Duty's case, there's 3 developers working on a 3-year cycle on it.
Mhm.
But it makes sense to do it. Something similar with first-person shooters too, where you buy it on a yearly basis. Or you don't buy a new disc on a yearly basis. You buy the new expansion on a yearly basis, which realistically should be cheaper because you cut out the middleman of needing to deal with physical. Possibly.
Yeah, but they change the Call of Duties too much each year for that to work. I mean, they literally are like brand new games each time. So, but also subscription expansions. I mean, unless it actually is cheaper, I don't like the idea, and I also hate the idea of paying for a couple of months and instead of just having full access. I mean, that's the main problem I have with always online games is I don't want to pay for a game that I'm gonna not have access to at a certain point. Or if I do, I would much rather pay way less, like $15 is the most. So that idea sounds terrible to me. The idea of buying $10 a month Madden for a couple months and that's it. I would never. I think that would be worse. I'd rather just spend $60 and have permanent access to it rather than.
No, if I can get in September, play Madden for $10, oh my god, in a heartbeat.
Yeah. No, I mean, in that case, can't you just rent it? I suppose, you can't get. Well, I guess there are those services like GameFly and stuff that let you keep it a full month. But no, I'm not a fan of temporary games. I like to keep mine.
You hate that online stuff. You hate it.
Yep. That's why I keep my PlayStation Plus service going all year round, because it's I don't want to lose access to any PlayStation Plus games. I could care less if the games that month aren't good. It's I just want to be in on it. I don't want to lose access to something I've paid for. So it's I don't know. Not into that whole thing. If I want to play something, I want to be able to play it, not have to worry about subscription fees, re-upping, and screw that. But we had another news story, didn't we?
There was the Telltale one, and then the trophies earning you Sony rewards.
Let's try to be quick on this because we haven't even gotten.
Yeah.
Telltale laid off 25% of the company. Sad day.
I didn't read the article.
25%?
What did they say? Why?
They said 90, so they must have that's a lot of people working for them.
Well, they have a lot of projects in the works. They just finished Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy. They're doing Batman. They're doing another season of Walking Dead. They're doing another season of Wolf Among Us. And I think they have another 2 unannounced projects they said at some point. So
it's they still have 270 employees left if it's only 25%. That still a lot. So it's not like the end of Telltale.
No, it's a lot of people losing their jobs, and it's interesting to see where the company goes, just because they've been ramping up to the, it used to be one season of a game, period. It was I believe they did Jurassic Park, and it was terrible way back when, but The Walking Dead they hit a home run with, and then it was just that over the course of the year and a half, and then The Wolf Among Us was next, and then Walking Dead Season 2, and then Tales from the Borderlands. They started ramping up a little bit, and then Game of Thrones, and they just, the amount of the properties they work with are great, but I think they started stretching themselves a little thin because you had
Telltale fatigue.
Definitely Telltale fatigue, because you just have all these episodic games coming out, and it's I don't mind playing them. I like playing them, but there's a reason I waited until this Tuesday to start playing Guardians of the Galaxy, because this Tuesday, or there's a reason I waited until now to start playing Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's because the last episode came out on Tuesday.
Yeah, I noticed that, and yeah, I definitely will be getting it soon too now because I love the movies, and
It's
yeah, I've
basically
been
a
waiting
movie
for the end of the
sequel.
seating at the end of the season to get it because I don't like waiting for episodes. So that is definitely cool. But yeah, the other thing that the PlayStation Rewards things with the for the trophies, I think it's very cool. Like I mentioned last week about getting avatars just for having trophy data for Shadow of the Colossus. I love that type of thing. So hopefully there's more of that, and hopefully the rewards thing works out too.
Well, it's whether it works out or not is almost irrelevant right now, just because it's I believe it was. I don't exactly remember how many, but it works out where one silver trophy is about 1 cent worth of PlayStation money.
Yeah, but then the platinums were like way more
Oh,
than
you
that,
get
weren't they?
if you get 10 platinums, you get $10, but that requires you to get 10 platinums.
That's
Oh,
easy. You can do that in a weekend.
hell no. I mean, unless you're
That's a
going for
fun.
the easiest
There are
ones.
many really quick. You'll
Yeah,
you'd have to
but
work hard for a
I'm not
weekend, but
gonna
you can do it in
I'm
a
not gonna
week.
buy a game just for a platinum. Like I only do it for games I like. But it's still, I mean, it's hard to say no to rewards for something we've been doing for years. I mean, it's nice to
Yeah.
like finally get something back for, doing all that stuff because it's like I gotta think that it benefits them in the long run to have people trophy hunting. Like it's gotta be a good thing for their community. So why not add some rewards like free avatars and maybe even free themes and PlayStation money.
Oddly enough, I think trophy hunting would be less money for them because it's one person playing the same game for longer instead of buying more and more games.
I don't know because it's like it's something that gets people really anything that gets people into games is going to be good. And actually, I thought I heard something of like wasn't Shuhei saying something about the importance of having people playing games for longer rather than less. So in that case, trophies would be the best thing, really. Because I thought they mentioned something like that. Like that was their goal as far as PlayStation for making money going forward is like something like that. There was some story that came out about Shuhei, um, and I know that was mentioned, like getting gamers to play for longer periods of times and play more games. And I feel like trophies just add to that. Like I mean, they do all these studies, I'm sure, just to see like what's the best way to make money and stuff, and like I gotta think that having people be hardcore into games, even if they're sticking to only one for a while, is gonna be a good thing. Because I feel like the person who sticks to one game to get a platinum is gonna be more likely to buy another game than the person that plays Call of Duty nightly or some Destiny or something like that, But okay, enough news stories. Our topic this week is kind of an interesting one, I think,
Speaking of sticking to one game,
or three. So basically, this is the premise. You are put into low security prison for selling weed in a school zone, and
Jesus Christ.
yeah, but the weird thing
Fifth grade
is
is
you're allowed to have
stressful.
a console, you have internet access, you have a TV, but for whatever dumb reason, the warden is only letting you have 3 video games. Who knows why? He's the warden. He's a dick, just like the one in Shawshank Redemption. He's only letting you have 3 games. What are those 3 games and why? I don't know. When do you guys want to start?
Oh, what the hell? I'll jump in. First on my list
Tagging
is
you in,
my
Jordy.
yeah yeah. First on my list is my favorite game of all time for the Jega Genesis, Gunstar Heroes. It's a Contra-like game. It's just super action packed. I could play that over and over and over, and I could. Um, my next one would be the Borderlands Handsome Collection. That'd be the game I could get the most grinding out of, and which I've already done a ton of grinding of, and I got a lot more to go. I know I'd have a lot of fun with that. And then I made my cheat answer, which would be to get the PlayStation 3, like the Metal Gear Solid Super Collection, which has all the Metal Gear Solids in it. If you're going to make me narrow it down to one, I'd pick Metal Gear Solid 2 out of those. That was it, quick and easy. We got to save time because we talk so much about other things.
Okay, Brian.
We have enough time. Why 2?
What?
I'm saying we have enough time to discuss a little bit, and I'm asking him.
Why Metal Gear Solid 2? Yeah, because I was wondering that myself. Because to be honest, that is my least favorite of the main numbered ones.
That's probably the one I've sunk the most hours into in my time, and that's probably just the one that has the most nostalgia enjoyment for me.
You've played that more than 5?
The Metal Gear Solid Super Collection for the PlayStation 3 does not have Metal Gear Solid 5, my friend.
No, but you said you've sunk more hours into 2 than any other one.
Yeah, I got all.
Oh, were you just not including 5?
That took a while.
Okay, because I was gonna say because I spent I put more time into 5 than I did in all the other ones combined twice. Like, or close to it. At least one playthrough of each of the other ones didn't add up to more time than I spent on 5 because of how long 5 is. But so you were just talking out of the collection. You've spent the most time on 2.
Still, I've probably put more hours into 2 than I did into the 70 or 80 hours I put into 5. I've played through 2 on Extreme a few times. Getting all the dog tags as a youth, playing it again on the PS3. I've probably played it for more than I've played 5.
Damn.
I can kind of see that, because when you're going for dog tags on Extreme or European Extreme, depending on the version of Metal Gear Solid 2 you're playing, it takes a little while because you're standing put for a while everyone just patrols just right.
And what happens if you accidentally miss one? Guess what? You get to play through Extreme again.
Yep. Just so you can get that stupid Shiba wig.
It was the blue wig that lets you swim, I think. Is it the blue one?
I can't remember.
There's 2 equally awful wigs. There's one that lets you swim, and there was awful. One that lets you have grip. Infinite grip.
Yep. God. And of course, you have to sit there and level up your grip when you have the ability to.
Yeah. Yep.
It's an interesting choice,
I got a lot of play out of 2. You're playing through and keep killing the 25 Metal Gears on Extreme is one of my favorite things.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're not kidding?
Nope.
Oh, wow. It's like saying I like getting stabbed in the eye with a needle.
I told you I like hard shit, man. I like that stuff.
It's the difference between hard and
stupid.
Terrible.
Some games, I swear, some games they get so hard they're stupid. But maybe it's just I'm stupid and can't play them good enough.
It's interesting, though.
Yeah, but the handsome collection, I'm counting that is just one game. That's all in one, and I really enjoyed both of those.
That is kind of cheating, but
I mean, if I got to pick one of those 2, I'll pick Borderlands 2.
But it's not like the dumbass warden's gonna know that they're actually more than one game on those discs.
It's one disc. He doesn't know.
Yeah, it's okay. It's just I'm just kind of jealous because I can't think of any collections like that I would pick. So I'm jealous a little bit.
Well, that Metal Gear Solid collection, that should be an easy pick.
Well, it's like me. How many times am I gonna play them all over again? I like to play them maybe once every couple years, just once through. I've never been one to go through them the way that you're going through, on Extreme and trying to get like high scores and stuff. Like, I don't know if does they even keep track of scores in the earlier ones? Don't they? I don't know. I don't remember.
No. Like you get the rankings at the end, but there's no score.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. The rank, yeah.
Oh yeah, there's rankings. You can still get the big boss. Don't get killed and don't kill anyone. Don't get seen
Dude.
ever. Memorize everything in the entire game.
Do it
It's
under
real
5
fun.
hours.
That was sarcasm this time.
Nice. 5 hours, damn.
Yeah, that's how you had to get. That's one of the requirements for getting Big Boss on Metal Gear Solid 4. Being the game in under 5 hours on Extreme.
Big Boss on 4 was it's by far the easiest one to get because you can save as many times as you want. So you can save in every screen. As they just get it right, then save at the next screen.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it was difficult. I just remember that was one of the requirements for that particular
was.
game to get Big Boss. Because I actually did it. I played quite a bit of 4.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Got any more questions about why I got stuff on my list?
No. It's just, man, you love Borderlands, huh?
I do enjoy a good Borderland.
I didn't know there was a singular Borderland.
Oh, that's where they are.
Awesome.
I mean, it's next to another Borderland because there's a border, but that's about the one that they're in.
Awesome. Okay. I guess we're done with you then. All questions answered. Brian, you want to go ahead?
Sure. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to come right out.
Damn.
I'm going to come right out cheating. I'm going to go ahead and say Final Fantasy 14. 1.
I don't
Because
see cheating.
Well, 1, because there's just so much to do in the game. You have currently, I don't know, around 20, not 20, 15 to 20 classes that you could level up to 70 plus all your crafting classes and gathering classes. And there's just so much to do and see and gear up and get. Now, I'm cheating because I'm assuming that I will magically be able to play hardcore at my leisure with a group of people to be able to tackle content, it being an MMO. And it's also cheating because I assume that I will have access to new expansions as they come out. So the game will continue to be fresh as time goes on. Even ever so slightly. Since Stormblood just came out, but they have already talked about having at least another 2 or 3 expansions. So from this day forward, Final Fantasy XIV will get new content and it will be a new game at some point. So that's why it's cheating. And I have no problems cheating because Final Fantasy XIV anyways is a great game.
It's still just one game, and you're connected to the internet, so you can just download stuff. I don't see it as separate games, no matter how many expansions it gets. Though, those are literally more than one game, so that is kind of cheating. But,
it's partially true.
It's not like the warden's going to know any better.
Well, with Borderlands, it's done. You have Borderlands 2 and all the expansions for that game, and the pre-sequel and all the expansions for that game. But those games are done. Whereas Final Fantasy, the game is not done, and it's still going.
Yeah, but one day they'll, like Hugo's always afraid of, they'll just pull the plug on it. Then you'll have nothing.
That is possible and
happen.
True, but Final Fantasy 11 has been going on since 2003 or 2002 or something like that, and it's still going. So
no shit. Nice.
The staying power of a popular MMO, especially a Japanese one named Final Fantasy, is high. So I'm not too worried about it.
Well, yeah. Plus, Square Enix isn't gonna be as asshole-ish to gamers as Activision or whatever, Ubisoft, stuff like
EA.
that. So
EA closes studios and shuts down on multiplayer all
Yeah,
the time.
but do they shut down multiplayer? When
Yeah.
have they done that? Or like MMO type stuff, always online?
Well, off the top of my head, Battlefield 2 is gone.
It is?
Yeah.
Yeesh. No shit.
Because it was run, or the servers were run by like GameSpy or something like that, or some online.
You know what?
Steam
That's
Spy.
that's not. I wouldn't even say that's their fault. Like they could have put them back up
But-
with a different server company, but GameFly screwed a lot of people over. It's not just them.
However, there was a group of people who were keeping these games alive for no profit at all,
Mhm.
and EA shut them down.
Oh, that is BS.
So
That
they
is
had the
BS.
ability for Battlefield 2 to just live on and people to play it, but they just shut it down because they didn't want. On one hand, yeah, sure, don't want other people dealing with their IP, but on the, could have just let it go.
Yeah, because isn't the Battlefield 1942 the oldest one? Is still up? I think it is. Last I heard.
I think that was also on GameSpy.
Stupid.
EA had a
GameSpy.
lot of games on GameSpy before it got shut down.
Yeah, no. GameSpy sucks. Those bastards. Why'd they have to close down? I don't even know what happened to them, but I just know that like a lot of games got shut down because of them, online wise. So screw them. It's their fault, even if
All
it's
the
not.
Battlefronts as well, up
Oh.
until recently.
Yeah, damn.
But
Test Drive
Final
Unlimited.
Final Fantasy 14 is my first choice. It was a tough call between that and World of Warcraft, though, I will say. However, I recently tried playing World of Warcraft again, and it's rough. I mean, it's the same game I used to play, but I don't know. It just looks so bad
It
compared
looks
to
like a
Final Fantasy.
2005 game.
Yeah, it absolutely does. Whereas, Final Fantasy 11, while it looked really rough, kind of looked better than World of Warcraft when it came out, and it's just that aesthetic was fine, but it's gotten a little old for me personally. Whereas Final Fantasy 14 just still looks beautiful. I can go to certain areas or take certain pictures and screenshots in the game and probably impress you.
Yeah. I bet. I mean, I don't know if it's the same. Yeah, it's not the same team that made Final Fantasy 15, right?
No, Final
Oh,
Fantasy 15. I don't know too much about the 15 team, to be honest. But the Final Fantasy 14 team was actually partly made up of the old Final Fantasy 11 team. But then the current director, Naoki Yoshida, came in, and his team was the Final Fantasy 12 team.
Okay.
Or actually, I don't want to say that he was the director of Final Fantasy 12, but the team, a lot of the people that he brought over to work on Final Fantasy 14 worked on Final Fantasy 12. And, I've discussed it with Jordash quite a bit, but the DNA of 12 and tactics is everywhere in 14.
Cool. Yeah, because 15 certainly looks really good graphically. It's really just the art style.
Yeah, they've always looked great graphically, which is nice. I always think I don't care that much about graphics, but then I see a game that looks good. I'm like, oh yeah, this is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have a really good art style too. Like it's not even just graphics, tech. Like some games, I feel like they have the tech, but they're lacking on the style. Final Fantasy has both. Same thing with the Gran Turismo Sport and Metal Gear Solid. There's the Japanese have very good art style from what I've seen for the most part. Look at Ni no Kuni.
Yeah.
Although that is kind of like a little bit of Disney, kind of. They get a lot of inspiration from that. I don't know. But either way, they know what's up as far as art style goes in Japan. But yeah, so Final Fantasy 14.
Final Fantasy 14 is game number 1. In all future expansions, it's still game number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
As for game number 2, it is actually a fairly recent game. And I've had to think about it for a little bit, and just to make sure that my opinion is not too skewed. But I really think that I can be quite happy playing Breath of the Wild for large lengths of time. I mean, I put 125 hours into my main file when it was brand new, and recently playing it for Extra Life just reinvigorated me. I remembered all of the things that I absolutely loved about the game and just wanted to play more of. And I will and want to play more of Breath of the Wild. And there's just so much of the world that I haven't even explored yet. I mean, I don't think I'm crazy enough to ever go after all 900 Korok seeds, but I will try for hours and hours and hours. And I mean, they're still adding content. There's some like Xenoblade Chronicles content coming to the game, and an expansion, not expansion, but a large DLC pack still coming soon. So we'll see what's going on with that game. But yeah, it's just so much fun to explore. And technically, it has the 2 modes, the regular game and then the master mode. That just makes the game significantly harder. So if I really wanted to put some time away, I could do it all again on master mode, where every monster is immediately the next tier of monster up, and they all regenerate their health. So sometimes running away from a fight is more, much more worth than trying to fight.
Yeah, there's a ton to do in Breath of the Wild. My wife just started playing it all again. She's trying to do everything. I think she just finished getting all the memories, and she's finishing up getting all the little I don't know, the little places where you get like the things to get the heart containers. What are they, like the little mini dungeons?
Shrines.
Yeah, the shrines. Yeah, she's wrapping up those now. Like she's like one thing she likes about Breath of the Wild is that because she's admittedly not very good at games, like she likes that she can just like farm up like just like maximum healing items and then go into the dungeon to fight the boss and stuff like that. So she can just like she loves doing all that, like the stuff that I don't like in a game, like cooking and fishing and crafting stuff. Like she's like, nope, that's all I want to do, and then she'll begrudgingly go and complete the game using all of her health potions to get through.
Yeah, and I just love how even when you get all your heart containers and stuff like that, they still give you the option of getting another 3 more added to your life, which is nice. If you ever see videos of the game, the yellow hearts, if you ever see those are extra hearts from cooking and food. And when you get every shrine, you have 3 stamina wheels, including the one you start with, and some random number like 27 hearts or something like that.
I think it's 27, yeah.
With the possibility for another 3 to make it an even 30. 2 rows of 15. And yeah, you have the ability to farm the materials to upgrade all your armor, and there's a shit ton of armor, depending on how you want to go about things. If you want to be a more physical attacker, you can go with the barbarian stuff. If you want to be a little more defensive, there's the knight stuff, even though it doesn't do much extra for you. The stealth stuff is great. I mean, yeah, it's just, there's so much to do, and there's so much time you can sink. It's great. I love it, and I've talked about it at length all year long, and I can talk about it at length for another year and play it for, just dozens of hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild. Can't wait for that new DLC and my 4 new amiibo for that game coming out tomorrow. Yeah. Tell your wife if she wants to play. The real way to do it is to get some old Link armor that's really difficult to upgrade. I was playing.
She usually uses what outfit she just likes the most, regardless of defense. And I say, use the better armor, and you won't take 17 hearts of damage per hit. She says, I don't care.
Yep, that would be. Oh, you have it on the Wii U.
Correct.
You can get the hard mode outfit is a pair of tattered pants and a Nintendo Switch shirt. Each have 1 armor or defense and can't be upgraded. But yeah, Breath of the Wild, game number 2. And for my third game, it's going to be a little weird for me to say this because I've talked a lot of shit about it, but it's going to probably have to be Skyrim. Again, I had to think pretty long and hard about it, but despite me having a lot of problems with the game on PS3, it's still a really great game, and there's just so much to do and so much to explore and see and have fun with. And between playing it at length on PS3, playing it somewhat on PC when I got it for like $5 when I got my new PC just to see how good Skyrim can actually run, and then most recently the special edition or whatever on PS4, I've put like 200 hours into the 200 to 300 hours into the game total across 3 platforms, and I've played each game very, very differently from one another. So, I mean, I could just restart the game and it'd be a completely different game, between favoring certain classes and playstyles over another. So, where I've always generally played Elder Scrolls games as a, shield-wearing sword user or something like that, I can dual wield in Skyrim, or do magic or stealth. I've always wanted to do a stealth run and haven't gotten around to it. So yeah, despite me talking lots of shit on the PS3 version, it's still a phenomenal game that I could play forever and would definitely pick it to play forever.
That is interesting.
And I want it again for Switch when it's cheap. At $30 or less, I will buy it in a heartbeat for Switch. Because Skyrim handheld? Are you fucking kidding me? Run around with a Master Sword and Hyrulean Shield? Hell yeah.
I'd rather have Fallout or The Witcher.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh yeah, see, I played Skyrim on the PS3. I didn't love it like I know there's just tons and tons of stuff to do, but I didn't find like many of them to be just like, I don't know, like extra enthralling. Like I go through a dungeon and I'm just like, I don't know, I'd hack a guy with a sword for a bit and then I would say, oh, I'm gonna do some magic now, try that out. I didn't find the combat to be like that fun.
Oh, it's
yeah,
not.
Me neither. That was always my main problem with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so
combat is definitely not fun.
Most of the game is combat. I'm like, I don't know if I can do this for 100 hours.
And that's the exact thought that went through my head when I played it too, which is why I never got it.
Well, you can do certain things to, make the combat more fun, like learn the ability to charm enemies so they could fight for you, and make enemies just kill each other instead of you necessarily partaking in, sword fighting. You can use mostly magic You can,
Well, that sounds like you'd be doing even less at that point. You'd just be
Yeah.
change your mind, and then I'd just be like waiting.
well, yeah, that sounds boring, but I find that stuff fun. Like, a lot of the more recent Assassin's Creed games gave you the ability to have like a berserk dart or berserk
Yeah.
potion or something like that, and you hit one person and it sets them loose and it distracts all the guards. And I had no problem using that and just letting a bunch of people fight each other and sit back and do nothing and wait for them to tussle and walk in and clean up at the very end. I always had fun doing stuff like that, so I wouldn't mind doing something like that in Skyrim.
Well, I did
Plus,
too. And I know exactly what you're talking about, the berserk darts, but the reason I had fun doing that is because it felt like less of a chore than actually killing them myself, which to me is a bad sign for a game. Like the combat and the idea of killing them should be fun. Like, it's one thing if it's like a challenge and a risk, like it would be in, say, something like Bloodborne or something, but to me, it's another thing if it's a chore, which is what I felt about Assassin's Creed a lot of the times with the combat, which is part of why I'm not a fan of the new ones, because they took away the thing that I actually did love about Assassin's Creed, which was the story. So it's like now there's only pretty much combat and the just general gameplay, and I just never a fan of that part of it. So not sure I would still be a fan of Skyrim, but I don't know. Not that I don't totally understand why you're picking Skyrim, though, at the same time, because I do, and you'll find out why in a couple minutes.
yeah, I mean, I thought about it, and Fallout was a contender, but which Fallout? Because there's something about Fallout 4 that I wasn't the biggest fan of. I loved New Vegas, but it was frustrating at the same time, so I don't know if I'd play it forever. Fallout 3 was fun, but it was such a buggy mess on PS3 that I don't know if I could
Oh, yeah.
play it at length, because it's not on PS4 or anything like that, and I guess I could play it on PC, but I'd rather shoot myself in the dick than play PC.
See, I don't know, with a game like that where the actual PC part of it doesn't come into play too much, you're just in the game for endless hours, I don't think I would have a huge issue with it. And I do have it on PC and Xbox 360, and it's fine on Xbox 360 from what I saw, but PC nowadays it's such an old game that you run it at 4K, 60 frames a second, which is always nice. So I would play it on PC without. I wouldn't have a problem with it. Although I don't like PC either. It's just that when you're spending that much time in a game, it's hard to get bugged by the platform you're on, in my opinion.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I guess if I'm playing Skyrim in this magical world, then I would play it on, the most souped up PC I can possibly find. And,
Yeah.
it also gives me the ability to play with mods and stuff like that, which changes the game a little bit, and not like the Bethesda mods on PS4 or Xbox or anything like that, but on PC where, people could just do whatever the hell they want and be more enjoyable. So
Yeah.
that's another thing. Does that count as cheating?
No.
Then
Still
sure.
just one game.
Then sure, I'll take that. Skyrim on PC.
Awesome.
Feel dirty just saying that.
But okay, so
It's my 3 games.
yep, that's my term. I actually had a pretty difficult time choosing games, and I've considered a lot. I'm going to start off with the racing simulator, because you guys know, obviously, that's going to be one of them. I have a real hard time choosing between Gran Turismo Sport and Assetto Corsa. And because there would be an internet connection, and I just know how much fun it is to play GT Sport online, and also the fact that it's going to be getting more content, although so is Assetto Corsa, I'm going with GT Sport. But like, let's say if there was no internet connection, I would absolutely go with Assetto Corsa, because it just has way more variety in cars. It's also, I think it's better to race offline, and just like the driving itself is better, and that's very important. Like I don't know, like it's Assetto Corsa is something I could play forever, literally. And I mean, same for GT, but like just less so because it's the driving itself isn't quite as good as AC's. It's just like everything else is so much better. But ultimately, in a racing game, driving is the most important thing. So if it's just a year, I'm going with GT Sport. But yeah, my next game, another one where I considered a few different things. One of them was actually Zelda Breath of the Wild. Just because I haven't played it yet, I know I could sink hundreds of hours into it if I had to, and it seems like an amazing game. It's just that I haven't played enough of it and learned enough to know whether I would love it enough to take that risk to be having it for a year, which is why I'm going with Fallout 4, because that one I know I love. There's endless amount of stuff to do, including all the DLCs that I own but haven't touched one time, because I still haven't finished the main game. Also considered Fallout 3 because I haven't played that yet, although I do have it, and I know that at least from the first hour or so I played, I definitely really enjoyed it. But I'm just going with 4 just because it's newer, it plays better. There's some little things about the way the gameplay works that I like better, as far as like, walking up to a body to search through what he has. You don't have to like pause the game or like go into a menu. Like you just look at it and be real quick, and then you can just leave. Also, just the way the encumbrance system works and fast travel, all that. Although, I mean, that might exist in 3. It just seems to me like 4 is the more modern and prettier, and I just want to finish it, and I know I could sink tons of time into it. I mean, it's like I also considered Metal Gear Solid 5 as well. Horizon, but it's like I've already played those. So yeah, I'm going with Fallout 4. And I even considered The Witness, which is maybe one out of left field, but I really believe I could sink a year into that game just because it's so difficult. But at the same time, it's such a cool game. It's like I feel like I could spend a lot of time messing around with the puzzles in that game. Maybe not a full year though, so that's why I ultimately didn't choose that one. But so yeah, Gran Turismo Sport, Fallout 4, and the final one, Rocket League. Another one that was a little difficult to narrow down, but ultimately it's just a game I could play forever. Like, it's just too much fun to hop on matches and just play soccer. It's just a great game, and like it would definitely be one where if I had to choose one game, I would never choose it, because I know there would be times that I would be frustrated with it and rage quit, and then what do I play? You know what I mean? So, but because I have a game like Fallout, which is although it's like it can be a challenge sometimes, it's definitely more relaxing. Like there's plenty of times where you're just kind of exploring and just chilling out. So it's like I kind of need that to balance things out between the competitiveness of Rocket League and GT Sport. So yeah, those are my 3, pretty much.
It's interesting that you picked Fallout 4. I understand the reasons, but well, never mind. That makes perfect sense. You're from Beantown, so exploring Beantown might be more fun.
No, to be honest, it has nothing to do with that. It's a lot of it is the gameplay. Like I really enjoy the gameplay. Like I like the combat a lot. It's a shooting game, and first-person shooters have pretty much always been my favorite type of genre of game, other than racing. And it's like, to me, actually, the most replaceable one would be Rocket League, just because it's like it's just on the edge. But like Fallout 4 is, I don't know, because it's a first-person shooter, I choose it. I also consider Doom, because that's another one where it's like I could play for a long ass time, especially with all the snap map stuff. And I mean, yeah, the multiplayer is not great, but still, just having some sort of first-person shooter multiplayer there would be cool. But yeah, no, I had to narrow it down to 3, so I did.
Yeah, I honestly, between Fallout 4 and 3, I would pick 3 just because of the setting. I
consider that it's just like I mentioned about the game being older and stuff.
Yeah, Fallout 3. I've played it most on PS3, and it just runs like garbage. It's terrible. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I would play
Skyrim was bad, but Fallout 3 is even worse.
I would play it on 360 or PC because I don't even have it on PS3 actually. But what's it called? If like this would be a very different question for me if it was like for longer than a year or lifetime or something. In that case, it would probably be Assetto Corsa and Test. No, what the hell? Crisis 1 would be one of them. Believe it or not, because that's just a game that I never get sick of playing. I've played it so many times, and somehow don't get sick of it. And actually, like we did a similar topic to this with Juan and Steve, and it was only 2 games, and it was for the rest of your life, and I think it was GT6 and Crisis 1, and the only way I would change it is just to do Assetto Corsa instead. Otherwise, my answer's still kind of the same.
I think I might have said World of Warcraft at the time.
I don't even know. I don't remember you being on that podcast.
It's weird because I
Not that
remember
episode.
talking about it.
Did, huh? Oh well.
On my list, I put my favorite game in there. Do you guys actually have like just a favorite game that you have?
I do, but it's one that actually probably my top 5 favorite games would all be games that I just wouldn't want to overplay. Like and a couple of them I have.
Well, I'm asking just like in general, not
Oh, yeah.
not being in jail for.
Oh yeah,
School.
yeah. Well, like
For
yeah, I'm
school
just saying
semester.
that's why I didn't consider them. Like, but yeah, no, I mean, I've said it a million times. Last Guardian is my favorite game, but it's one that I will only play once a year or something. Like, because I've learned my lesson from playing Uncharted 2 and Last of Us too many times. That it's like it loses its impact if you play it 80 times, you know? So it's like, I love them for what they are and the games that they are, but like I like to keep it fresh and just play them every once in a while and enjoy the shit of them that way, not play them over and over again. Because I feel like you can kind of get burnt out on anything if you do that. Even something as long as Fallout. Like, I feel like you could get burnt out if that's all you were playing.
Yeah.
Brian,
It's
do
the
you
exact
have
same
a
thing.
number one favorite?
I do. It kind of changes though, just weirdly enough, because sometimes it's an RPG, sometimes it's a Zelda game. Tends to fluctuate. Sometimes it's a Metal Gear Solid 1. Stuff like that. If I had to pick one favorite game ever, after recently playing Majora's Mask, it's not quite as good as I remember it. So I would probably go with Ocarina of Time.
Oh. I thought you were going to say Metal Gear Solid 3.
It's close. It's close, but
Well, he said his favorite has been kind of switches around a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard him
He's
say
played his Zelda
Metal Gear
most
Solid 3
recently,
before.
so it's Ocarina of Time, which granted is a great game.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
I've played it innumerable number of times across 64 and virtual consoles and 3DS, the 3DS remake.
Yep.
And yeah, it changes between like Final Fantasy 4 and 9 and Metal Gear Solid 3 and Ocarina of Time. Yeah, it's hard to nail down sometimes, but right now it's Ocarina of Time.
Nice.
Then again, it is also one of the greatest games ever, period.
Yep.
So,
And my
It's not
game
that
is just it's like a Contra game on the Sega Genesis, but that's my favorite, man.
well, it's all that, I have incredible fond memories of Christmas morning, opening up my present and getting my gold Ocarina of Time cartridge and plugging it in, or popping it in my system, and plugging in my Rumble Pack because that was the cool new thing at the time, and playing it. And next thing I knew, because we opened our presents on Christmas Eve, next thing I knew it was like 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning, and I was just finished Death Mountain and the Gorons as a kid, and I was like, holy shit, I could play this until 4 o'clock in the morning, a week from now. But just every little thing that I came across was awesome and great. And then, of course, the whole find all the stones, go to the Temple of Time, whip out the Master Sword. Next thing you know, you're an adult. That was great.
Yeah, no, it's an awesome game.
I keep it old school.
Awesome. So yeah, I don't know. You just want to wrap it up?
Yeah. And for cheapskates like myself, just about all the Black Friday ads are out. The video game sales this year are not quite as good as they were last year. Last year there was like a ton of like $8 and $10 games, and now there's very few like $10 games this year.
That's awesome.
A lot of the video game price points they're all higher this year, like across the board, all the stores, which is very disappointing for me. So I won't be buying like another 10 games that I'm not even playing right now.
If you really wanted, though, I saw Call of Duty. You can get Infinite Warfare, Modern Warfare, and World War II for $60.
I did see that. Yeah. All the new games that are $60, like they're like 30. So if you hadn't bought all those games day one, you could have just waited a couple of weeks and saved $30.
Yeah, Wolfenstein, Assassin's Creed are all $30.
Wolfenstein, Assassin's Creed. What else did you buy recently? South Park. Yeah, you bought a bunch of new games.
Well, I got Wolfenstein in a trade. I bartered.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I bartered a Mass Effect and like what, $20, $15, and I got Wolfenstein. Call that a successful barter.
For sure.
And I think this weekend there's like a For Honor free weekend, which I will not be taking part in because I have no interest in it.
Yep. Nope.
I might be picking up Ghost Recon Wildlands because I really enjoyed that, and that's $20.
Yeah, see, that's the game. I also really enjoyed it, but it's another one where I'm not buying because I simply don't have the time. Same thing with Project Cars 2. That's getting put on the back burner for at least a couple months. Both of those, but I am getting those. The one game I'm interested in as far as Black Friday is just Crash Bandicoot, the remake.
And I think the lowest I've seen it is 30. They're working on like their master game spreadsheet
30?
thing. It might have been 25, but 25 would be the lowest. But I don't remember seeing it at 25.
It started out at 40, so it's kind of a crap price.
Very disappointing.
Oh yeah, it's Activision who published it. How am I not surprised? Well, yeah, I'm probably not going to spend more than 20, 25 on it.
Oh yeah, me neither.
They can go to hell if they want to keep the price up just because they're Activision. They can suck it. I won't buy it. Plus, I mean, I do want to get Knack 2 first anyways, which I will have no problem paying full price for.
Good choice.
Because it's not Activision. No, that's not the only reason why, but also because it's a new game, and it's something they obviously have done a good job on, like, and stuff, and I'm just more interested in it. It has the whole story and stuff, like, although I don't know if it has as much story as the first one did, but
it's got a good amount of story, and it's a better story, I think.
Oh, that's cool. Because it's like, it wasn't like that I was in love with the first story of the first one by any means, but I just liked it being there. To me, it made the game itself more entertaining just to have that there, to have like some cutscene. And I feel the same way about Ratchet and Clank. More so on the remake because it has quite a bit more story, but it's like it doesn't have to be a great story I'm super interested in, but like especially because it's like kind of more kiddie type stuff. It's like more like a Pixar thing, not really an adult, real serious theme. But it's just like it just being there to me, it just makes the game more entertaining. So that's how I feel about it. But yeah, so Knack 2, I don't care if it's on Black Friday. I have no problem spending higher or close to full price because that was also only $40 too, which is a good price point for I think for a lot of games. So it's nice to see that happen more often.
It's at I think $20 at Walmart.
Oh, that's a good deal.
That's a great price.
Super good deal. Awesome.
It's beyond worth $20.
Oh hell yeah, it's worth 40. But all right, I think that is it. So thanks for listening, everybody. We'll talk to you next time.